is Jay, J-A-Y, last name Kallenberger, K-A-L-L-E-N-B-E-R-G-E-R. I'm the father of Mark Kallenberger, an offensive lineman at the University of Iowa. Again, to talk about, just to tag on to what Randy was talking about, we're here to, really what we want is transparency. Everything was done without anybody being in the know, and that goes more so for all of our sons. Okay, decisions that were made have not really been communicated to them. So, that's really what we want. We want transparency.
What does transparency look like? What exactly do you want to know from the Big Ten?
First of all, the letter that the commissioner put out, in our minds, left more questions than it gave answers. So when we talk about transparency, was there a vote or wasn't there a vote? We've all seen the quotes out now. You guys in the media have all seen it. With the University of Minnesota, they said, well, there wasn't a vote per se. The letter says that the Big Ten President's Council had a vote. Well, was there a vote or wasn't there a vote? Transparency means that they talk you through the process. Okay, so that's really what it means. Don't put people in the dark, and let us know exactly what the thought processes were going into it. Listen, nobody's going to argue that this isn't a real virus. We all get that. We all understand it. Okay, but why is it we could go from having a schedule put out to 6 days later a hard shutdown? Every school has their protocols. We at the University of Iowa felt very comfortable in what our medical staff was doing. We all had a conference call, Zoom call, with our team doctor. Every parent was on it. And he went through what they were doing to mitigate the risks. We felt very comfortable after that call that we knew exactly what we were getting into, whether it was going to be safe. Listen, our kids are grown men, okay? They can make their own decision. Do they want to play? Don't they want to play? And I can tell you from my standpoint, talking with my son, he wants to play. I don't know if I've ever heard more disappointment in a young man's life than when the final word came out and Commissioner Warren said he would not revisit this. Having to talk your kids through that process isn't an easy thing. Listen, life isn't going to be easy. We all know that. Everybody standing here behind me, all you guys, okay? There's always going to be disappointment in life. And how do you handle that? And that's what we're doing. Listen, we got a voice, we want to use it. Our kids may not be comfortable speaking out, or their programs may say, hey, listen, just sit back. There's not a lot that you can say right now, but we can use our voices. And that's really what we're doing. So transparency, yes, to answer your question, that's what we want to know. Who's the medical team making the decisions? What were the decisions? Who were the schools voting yes or no? We want to know that. So and was there a vote? Yes.
What would you getting tested weekly? Us individuals, if we get sick or anything like that, that's the only time we get tested. So it's not safe for them to not play. For them being asymptomatic, if we're asymptomatic, we'll never know, because we're not getting tested like that. But with these kids, they're constantly getting tested. They're constantly being able to recognize if something's going on with them. So they're not spreading it as much as if they're not playing and socializing with the classmates and the outside world. And I know that for a fact because my son, he was COVID-19. And he got it when he was at home with his friends, not in school.
There you go.
It'll be different if the whole NCAA would have canceled all the colleges. That'll be fine. But the fact that 3 of them or 4 of them, whichever one it is, are able to participate and play is not fair to the rest of the other kids. And it's unfortunate that they had to go through this whole regimen for 3 months or 2 months, however much it was, to get a schedule out. So next thing you know, get the rug swept right underneath their feet. That's hard on them. It's not even us. It's hard on them because they're prepared to go play. They're prepared to do all the things necessary for the colleges and the coaches and the presidents that they want them to do. They did that. The numbers weren't up there. We just want to see votes. We wanted to see what really happened. It's just not fair to them. It's not.
Can you get your name? Your name?
Dornay Davis.
Can you spell that for us?
Dornaj. Last name's Davis.
And your son?
Excuse me?
Your son's name?
Julius Davis. Running back for Badgers. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's been playing since second grade. So I know that this is important to him as well. You know, but it's more to me. I think it's mainly more important for the juniors and the seniors because they don't get that, especially the seniors. You know, do you risk trying to play in January that they're saying or spring? Who knows if that's going to happen when they're telling us this? And if they can pull it this fast, they might say, well, nothing's changed, we're going to pull it again. Now the seniors are in a shambles. You know, the seniors that probably are not NFL caliber, but this year would have made them NFL caliber for them to show what they have. You know, it's unfortunate for them.
Have you had any communication from the Wisconsin either athletic department or school about their stance on this situation?
Excuse me?
Have you had any sort of communication from the University of Wisconsin on their stance on this situation?
I have, but I won't speak on it. You know, because that's something that the parents go through with the schools. But you know, I know some of them are in shambles as well. With the news of Big Ten Commissioner President Warren. For his son to play, I don't care. Yes, he got a decision. Let our kids have a decision. You know, it's just not. It's not fair. It really isn't. You know, if they all have decisions, they're all 18. His son plays in the SEC. Yes, he's not the commissioner over there or whatever the case may be, but at the same token, you didn't have that talk, or probably didn't have that talk with him to not let him, or to get him to realize that, look, you shouldn't play. But yet, you can, allow him to play and you're supporting him, but in the same token, you didn't give the Big Ten a chance. And it's not even just Wisconsin, just the whole Big Ten. You didn't give these kids the opportunity to make a decision for themselves. And the parents, if they want to, do this and not be liable or whatever the case may be.
And we would, again, just like some transparency, we would like to hear from the commissioner and the presidents, and we would like to also have the medical information that led to this decision. He keeps stating overwhelming medical information that led him to show us that it should be a canceled season. But in fairness to the players that you govern, you owe that information to them, to the parents, to the communities. We have all suffered a lot through this pandemic of seeing sad stories, and that has been horrific, and it's hard on all of our psyches. It gets into you and starts, making you feel bad about a lot of things. So football is the fabric of football, and many other sporting competitions is kind of the fabric of our country. And so it will be very difficult this fall to accept a no answer with no reasoning behind it and watch other conferences successfully take this forward. And I think it will be very poor for the Big Ten.
Why do you think they said no? Why do you think they said no?
It's hard to know, right? Without any facts and without transparency, I think when you read Commissioner Warren's letter, we all can see how he feels. And it's fine to have those fears and to be concerned and worried. But then we need to compare facts with others so that we can actually look at the data. In his letter we heard the global numbers and the nationwide numbers. But yet in other parts of this nation, they are moving forward with football. Houston being one of them. The Big 12, the SEC, the ACC. We need to look at Big 10 data. And what is that data showing us? Julie Wagner, W-A-G-G-O-N-E-R.
For us, U of I has a saliva test. The results have occurred within hours. Why are these other sports canceled? If you have, for any sport, take the test. If you're negative, you play. That's it. It's pretty simple. The saliva test was just FDA approved on Wednesday. sure it's available to every university. It makes no sense. It was a cut and dried response from the Big Ten, obviously without a lot of answers for the parents, but the initial response just to cut all sports, I thought was absurd. But now going forward, I don't know why they wouldn't pivot and say, wow, we had this test, although U of I has had it since June. Now it's FDA approved. Let's everyone have it. You test negative, you play. Period. That's it.
Thank you.